What's up, TikTok? Last week I finished reading the Old Testament of the Bible, and I just want to give y'all an overview of everything that I learned. Tonight I'm going to start on the New Testament, and I am excited because that is what most preachers preach on, is the New Testament. And also in the Old Testament, I haven't heard anything about what I was looking for, like what Christians get upset about, like wearing short skirts or whatever. I don't know. But them type of things, I didn't hear about it. But I'm finna give y'all an overview of what I learned. In the Old Testament, one thing I did learn that was like the most biggest thing throughout the whole Old Testament is God do all things, the good and the bad. Like every time a Israel or Judah start worshiping other idols, he will send someone to destroy it, or he'll send somebody, or he'll just want to destroy it because they worshiping other idols and stuff. So in the Old Testament, he did all things, the good and the bad. Now, the things that God did not like, he do not like people worshiping other things other than him, other idols other than him. They talked about this throughout the Old Testament. He didn't like people with pride, too much pride, and arrogancy, and boastful people, like people that just like show off, and stuff like that. So them the main things he didn't like. Now the funniest thing about this is I was taking my American history class. I passed it when I was reading the Bible, and a lot of things about when America started until now is similar with the Bible. And the Bible is over 2,000 years old. America is only 240 something years old. So even how America got discovered is similar to how the people left Egypt, and went to Israel, and how Moses them had to fight the people to get them off that land, and the reason why God wanted that land for his people is because they was worshiping other idols. And that was similar to America. When whoever came over here to America, the Indians, they was worshiping their religion. Christopher Columbus was worshiping God, Jesus Christ. So it's a lot of similarities to the Bible in America, I think. I was taking a class, and this class was deeper than rap. I shared it on here, but I make so many videos, it's probably hard to find. One thing I did learn from the Bible is don't worry about time. There's a lot of things that happen in the Bible, and they say 40 years, like how long they was walking through the wilderness and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, walking through the wilderness for that long? But that's similar to our lives, If you think about 10 years ago, what you was doing it from now, that's how life goes. Don't worry about time. Don't worry at all. Just trust in God. And now the things that I feel like God wants us to do, what I learned from the Old Testament, is basically obey the 10 commandments. Obey him, of course, but that's the number one commandment. And trust in him. Obey the 10 commandments and trust in him. One thing I learned that God wants us to do, basically tithe, offering, and create our own families. That was heavy in the Bible. I mean, it wasn't written like that, but it emphasized on creating your own family. It emphasized on, especially like in Genesis, in the first couple of books, how these people had so many children, and how you pass on generation curses and generational blessings, and went deep into that. So, you know, and sacrificing, giving offerings, helping people, we're not sacrificing animals anymore. So I feel like giving to charity and everything is what God's like. Now, my two favorite books in the Bible that I feel like resonate with me is the book of Job, which is spelled Job, because I probably pronounced it wrong, and the book of Joel, Joel. Now, the reason why I say Job resonate with me and I love it, that's my favorite book, and I suggest everybody to go read that whole book, is because Job never gave up on God, period. Everything was taken away from him, and he never gave up on God, and God betted on that Job would not give up on him. And I feel like I do that. Even though I have my little ways and stuff, but I never gave up on God, ever. It was instilled in me. I don't care if I'm drunk, high, dancing, booty shaking. I do not care. God is always first. Now, the book of Joel resonate with me and I like so much is because Joel was running from God. And I feel like I do that sometimes. God say, do this. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. And I think all of us do that. I suggest you read that book too. Now, the people that I learned stuff from in the Bible, the first person I would say is the book of Esther. That taught me, do not hate on nobody. Because that man in the book of Esther was hating on this guy so bad. And he ended up being put to death. Because he didn't like the guy. I think he was Jew. He didn't like the Jews or whatever. But yeah, I learned, don't hate on nobody, period. The most important thing I learned from David, and the story with David, it's a lot to learn. But what I learned from David is ego can set you back. Yes. After David got on and flexing and everything like that, he saw a pretty honey that he wanted to steal from someone else. And he killed the lady husband and everything. And then God ended up killing his child and all of that. So now Ruth and Naomi, what I learned from them is never stop being a good person. And never give up on good people. And that's always been my motto. Like when people go through stuff and they act all iggy, I just let them go through it, because we all have our days. I'm not going to throw away a good person. I like my friends because of their heart, honestly. What I learned from Saul is to always listen to God. Never be jealous of anyone. And God will take away your gift that he gave you if you don't listen to him. And I think God took away Saul's gift because he was jealous of David, honestly. If y'all go back and read the story. Samson and Delilah, what I learned about that is always be cautious of people. And if it started off wrong, it's going to end up wrong. And that is so true. Stuff that started off wrong always end up wrong. But we just continue to try to keep keeping it on. Baby, no way. Now, the book of Malachi is the last book of the Old Testament. And basically it's saying, like, when you see reoccurring tragedies in this world, reoccurring bad events, God is getting mad and mad and mad and mad and mad. And something big is going to happen that's going to make things tighten up. And I feel like that was like the pandemic, because the pandemic shook so many people. I do see a change in people's attitudes after the pandemic, honestly, even in my own attitude. The pandemic was a big deal. And that's what God bring big deals. Like all throughout this Old Testament, he even said it. He gonna shake you up with natural disaster, plague, all kind of stuff. So that's my overview of the Old Testament. I ran out of time. Y'all know how I run my mouth, but it was good. I'm excited to read the new one. Bye.